Hello YouTubers. This is from a request by another YouTuber. Sorry, I can't remember who it was now. But this is for now anyway, the final train I will be installing smoke into, a smoke generator, along with lights and sound and so on. And I promised I would show you how I do it again. I will go through this fairly quickly because you've probably seen in other videos, unless I've taken them off YouTube, how I install smoke generators. You've certainly seen how I put sound and lights into trains. Some of you keen-eyed viewers will probably say, oh, I've got yet more problems with Hornby products. If I take the top off this, you'll see what I mean. Incidentally, the other A4 twin tender you saw on my previous videos, where I had lots of stupid little problems that I've had with installing the lights and so on. That thing really went right to the very end, causing problems. As you know, I connected it all up, but it wouldn't run, and it turned out to be a wire came off the decoder. I soldered that back on, and the whole lot worked fine. So I put it all together, as you would, and I installed the lights and so on, and I put the bodies back on the tender and the loco, and I thought I'll test it again just in case, and would you believe it, it wouldn't run again. So again, I took the body off and the tender off. I checked all the wiring, thinking it was the decoder again. But would you believe it? One of the wires on the motor in the loco this time came off. So I had to solder that on. But touch wood, it's working again. And hopefully nothing else will fall off. But this loco, and this is the part of the Hornby 4 loco set. This is the Silver Fox. This is the set my mother bought me a while ago, the anniversary set. This is the, just get the box. That's the box. It's the 80th anniversary 4-pack set. My mum bought me these. I could never afford them. But when you consider how much the 4-pack cost, or individually, you would expect the damn things to stay together. And I took it off. Let me just show you. Took it out of the packaging. I'm still even out of the packaging 2 or 3 times, and all this fell off. Don't know what you call them, the skirts that go along the side. Here, both sides fell off, and the buffer beam fell off with it. And it really is very, very poor quality when these just literally fall off when you take them out of the box. As mentioned, they're not cheap. And for them to fall off the way they did, after only being out of the packaging 2 or 3 times, is really unacceptable. But anyway, that's my moan over with. So hopefully nothing else will fall off this. But this is the smoke generator. If you take out the box, out the packaging. Should have done this before I started the video. Get some scissors, because I wanted to quickly show you something on the generator. Take a syringe out. This is the generator. Now what I've found with the other generators I've fitted is you've got to be careful of these wires where they go in at the bottom. They're extremely brittle. So you've got to be careful when you put the smoke generator in to bend the wires. I tend to not to bend them at the point where they're soldered, but say a millimetre or two up the wire so there's no strain on it. I've been told by the supplier that they can be temperamental, and one of them has actually come off on one of the smoke generators I had, and I had to dig out the resin and I could just get to the wire that goes up to centre, to the heating element, and I was able to solder it back on, and then I packed it with the epoxy again to hold in position. But yeah, just be careful if you're going to fit one of these. Be very careful when you bend these wires inside the body. Don't bend them at the solder point or where it just touches the resin. Go about a millimetre, 2 millimetres further down the wire and then bend it. You can use, I don't know, use a screwdriver for example and hold it against it and then just bend it like that. You'll be able to see that. So you just bend it so it ends up like that. Try not to bend it at the solid point. And that's that. Put that to one side. When I take the body off this, I'll be removing the smoke stack to replace it with a metal one. I'll have to shape this because you can see it's square. I've got to shape it round. And the whistle goes, there's a little nodule in there and that you probably may not be able to see. I clean the inside where the smoke generator goes up into. Once I've shaped it, I'll shape it the same as this. I'll use this as a template. Once I take it off, and I'll fit it in position, glue it down, and then I'll undercoat it and paint it black to match this. And this matches perfectly with this because I used this on my other A4s and it matched perfectly, I hope. Oh, don't sound very confident, do I? The sound decoder I'll be installing is the Zimmo. Standard Zimmo, I can't remember the model number of this now. These wires, by the way, I just soldered them onto the top there. I soldered them on temporarily, but I'll probably leave them and just install the white wire on there as well, so I can connect the front and rear lights and the firebox up to it. The smoke generator goes onto the brown wire. And the reason I did this, you'll see a little lamp on the end there as well. This is one of the earlier Zimmos. So the coal shoveling sound and the light, the firebox light, weren't together. So when I pressed the, I think it was F12 on this, plays the coal shoveling sound, but I didn't have to press F3 for the light flickering. And I wanted them to combine, so I just changed CV values so that matched the coal shoveling sound on this, and that's why that's on there. It's not normally on there. I'll be installing 2 front lights as in my previous video on A4, and 1 red rear and the firebox glow light. I won't show you me installing them. What I will do is I'll show you them fixed in position once I've drilled, fitted them, routed the wires through and so on. I'll just quickly show you. The only difference between this and the twin A4, twin tender A4 is the smoke generator. And the only difference in the wiring, whereas the front lights and rear lights will each have their own resistor, so when I feed the wires from the front through the side of the body down underneath to here, in that system there'll be two resistors, one for the front lights and one for the firebox glow. The only change is this. This does not need a resistor. Each of the points, the wires coming from the decoder, the white wire, the yellow wire, the brown wire and so on, gives out about 12 volts, thereabouts, 12 volts. So I'll need a resistor for the LEDs, for obvious reasons, they'd blow. But this, the smoke generator, requires a full 12 volts. So when I read the wires through, again, the two blue wires, blue wire from the firebox glow, blue wire from the daisy chain front lights, will each have their own, I can't show you them now, I don't know where they are, resistors, they're somewhere about, there they are. Each have their own resistors. There'll still only be one blue wire coming out, attached to a black. The blue will be routed through, but I'll then solder on black wire, so when it goes from the locomotive to here, it's just black wire to match the Hornby black wire that is there. So the two wires, two blue wires as mentioned from the front lights and the firebox glow will have the resistors. The blue wire from this will be on the, how can I explain it, on the outer side, this side of the blue stroke black wire coming out, because it doesn't need a resistance. Hope that makes sense. I'll show you more when I've wired it what I mean. Because these are like incandescent bulbs, there's no positive or negative. So, but what I will do is I'll connect the blue. I always connect the blue wire to the black, and the brown, that will be brown. No, sorry, brown wire to this, 'cause that's brown, which will though match up with the brown wire on this, and the blue wire on that. Because as mentioned, they're not polarity dependent. So that's it for this. Hopefully nothing else will fall off. Once I've done this, I'll glue those bits back on. But as mentioned, it really is not acceptable, isn't it? To have this out of the box 2 or 3 times, and then all those parts fell off. It's just an annoyance having to glue them back on. Shouldn't have fallen off in the first place. But that's that. Just one other point. A project I'm doing, if you can call it a project, is this 08. For some reason, all the linkage is knackered. It's not running well at all. One of the linkages on one side is snapped. I bought it like that, and I knew what the problem was. So I've purchased new linkages and new cams, because each wheel has got its own cam. One of the threads on the original cam is no good anymore, so the screw won't tighten up. So I bought from Peter Spurs new cams and new linkages, and I've had to buy more of these. These are, what are these, spin screwdrivers, or spin nut drivers, whatever you call them. They're used, this one is 2.5mm, and they're used to undo the wheel nuts here. But the wheel nuts on these are much smaller. They're about 1.5. So I've had to buy a pack of these, which should be here Thursday, Friday. So hopefully over the weekend I'm going to redo the linkages and cams on the 08. If anybody wants me to show you how I do that, please let me know and I'll do a video. But I've got to wait for the pack of these to come. So that's it. I'll wire it up. I won't show you each stage, I'll just show you when it's all wired up. And then the video after that will be all the top back on, as long as nothing's falling off. and I'll test the smoke generator. I'll show you it working. That's the what I'll be using is the oil that came with it. Quite expensive, this stuff. I think I've mentioned it in another video. There's various options open to people to include baby oil, which I haven't played about with much. There is a water-based version of this, but I've found that seemed to spit a lot from the other smoke generator I installed. But I'll show you it all working. So yeah, so the next video will be all this wired up, and I'll show you the wiring, how I routed it again, and how I install this and wired it. And then the video after that, or it may be just be one video, but if there's two of the videos, the final video would be showing you this working and the smoke and so on. So thank you very much for your time. And again, if anybody wants me to show you how to do the Class 08, please let me know. Thanks very much.